Welcome everybody. We are in our very first session of the new software testing class. That online class is number 17th in our online program. We started in May of 2011. And when we started it was a group of 7 people. So now I would say the last one was 79 and yours, I don't know yet, we didn't finalize the enrollment yet, but might be even bigger than 80. So we have 2 groups. One group is for people who are new to the class, and we have another group for people who are repeating the class. So we have unlimited opportunity to repeat the classes. So as long as you want to repeat it, so just tell me and I will put you on that extra group, which is a notification group. The online home page, the one you see on your screen, is something I sent you down the Skype group, dedicated Skype group, and that page will be used by us for the coming 3 sessions. After 3 sessions, your class will get its own page with your own proprietary sessions, recording and different things. That one is of a generic nature, and the reason we have it is we don't know who is the student yet. You have 3 sessions to decide if you join the program. So today is Tuesday, then we have Thursday after tomorrow, and then we have Monday next week. And after 3 sessions, in between Monday next week and Tuesday next week, you would decide if you want to stay in the class. So in that case, you pay the tuition, we'll give you a link, so we can charge your credit card. It is all done online. So far my job is to give you some introduction to the subject, so you have enough information to decide. Now, if I scroll down a little bit, so here we are in session number 1, and you did have some homework to do. I'm not saying everybody did it, but I'm saying we gave you the homework. And in that homework, you were supposed to watch the video with introduction of the school and what we are learning here. So we have a link, and we have PowerPoint. Then you were supposed to learn common interview questions with answers. So we have a list of 60 most frequently asked interview questions, which is a good list because on one hand it is not coming from India or Brazil or Russia. It is all local. So you can go to Google and you can search for software QA interview questions. So that list is different. That list is local, number 1. Number 2, it is collected within the market niche, which is your market niche. It is not for management positions. It is not for senior level positions. It is not for automation positions. It is something which you will be asked after you after you graduate and go to the job market first time. So you have 60 questions which cover maybe 95% of whatever they might ask when it comes to software testing. And so we gave you that list, and so you were supposed to kind of memorize that, learn, let's put it that way, and then you were supposed to do the survey here. And when you do the survey, guys, there is one thing you do not want to commit to. So you do not want any copy-paste of your answers. Because when you go to an interview, and we are dealing with interview questions, when you go to an interview, you cannot copy-paste from anywhere, okay, rather than your brain, okay. So make sure you can copy from your brain and paste to the, to the faces of those interviewers. Then what do we have? We asked you to watch that video. So a couple of things. Now, here is my tool which shows you in doing the quiz. Okay, so we have 151 response, which is kind of amazing. And we will go there to analyze your questions and answers. Before we do that, I want to make it clear why we are here, at least from my standpoint. So why am I doing that? We are not exactly in business of teaching classes. We are in business of career change. And so my dream student is someone who wants to change his career, someone who wants to get a job. I do not feel happy, if I teach you and you learn it and then you never look for a job. And I'm asking myself, why in the world I spent my time and energy and passion and, where is the result of my job, my work, So my result is you working. And until you get a job, we keep working. After you get a job, we still keep working on getting another job and growing and growing and growing up to the level at which you don't need our help anymore. So we create libraries of videos which we take in our school here in Los Altos, California. We have recordings of all the webinars with all the previous classes. Imagine you are number 17. We have recordings of 16 classes. I don't want you to watch those because it will take too much time and it's not really productive. You will have your own stuff. But in that specific class, we have 40 live hours, 40 hours in the virtual classroom. Plus, you will do homework, which I would say in QA might give you another 40, maybe 50, maybe 60 hours of watching videos. Again, going to virtual classroom. So we create huge amount of resources to support you anytime you need those resources. I'm not saying you have to digest all that stuff just within the next couple of months, but it is available. Anytime you want to be there, it's available. Let me maybe show you. For example, portnow.com/video. It is a password protected thing, so you will get access to that page after you become a student. But become students. No, I just want to show you what we keep here for you. So we have job search related things. I'm not going through that right now. Then we have a software testing class which I recorded in our classrooms. 26 hours, 24 hours of software testing. So each session here is, well, actually it's before lunch, and after lunch. So technically one session in the day class is like 4 or 5 hours. And it corresponds with 1 hour of your class. So imagine how much more elaborated it is, if you have time to do it. We do not specialize in web application testing anymore, but still web applications exist, and we give you a recording of the first session of our web testing class, which is a 40 hours class. Here is what you need to know about testing web applications. We have, in case you might be interested in some coding, we have 6 hours of gray box testing with Perl. We have HTML and XML and JavaScript and virtual machines and SQL. We have Selenium and we have advanced Selenium. 26 and 26 hours. We have projects which we did in previous classes. So recorded. So what you have here, session. So 10 hours of project. Another 11 hours of project with tons of documentation on the right hand side. Another project and a few more projects which are not on that page. And we also have an online class on mobile testing, which is an outstanding piece. Not to mention that out of 40 hours in your class, 20 are on QA, which I will teach myself. And another 20 hours are a combination of mobile testing class and mobile testing project. Same person will do both theory and project, and that person, she is a QA director in a local Silicon Valley startup. So she will test with you the application she tests at work. So you will get very strong input to your resume eventually. So that is how it is settled, and you are in how to say, in a little bit difficult position being online learners, because we meet 3 times a week, and in between you would need to put maybe 10, 12, 15, maybe 20 hours, depends, you know, how fast you are in picking up new things, of working, doing same thing on your own. If you cannot do it on your own, you cannot achieve anything. There is a great deal of hard work attached. It is not enough to pay tuition and come 3 times a week, you know, for 3 sessions, 1 hour each. It's not enough. You have to spend considerable time. Whatever we're going to do is recorded. So each and every session is recorded. If you miss a session, you can repeat it later on. If you want to repeat same session again and again and again 5 times, you can do that. We have it recorded. We have recordings of previous classes. We will give you access to some previous classes as well, just in case. And let me ask if we have any questions so far. So if you have questions, you write them in Skype, and if not, we will move. Any questions so far? No? Okay. Guys, one more thing. The language we use in that group is English. Okay. Same as when you go to an interview, same as when you start working. So don't relax. Just use. How do we send checks? We have an address. I mean, really, if you go to portnow.com website, you will see our mailing address and everything. It's not a big deal if you want to send a check. That is the easiest part. We have online page where you just pay by credit card, or you pay using PayPal. So I mean, all types of payments. Okay. So I do not see questions here. Yeah. Okay. So guys, let's move to the questionnaire or survey, but we call it survey. Okay, let's go there. And so it is my assumption that you did the homework, because if you didn't do the homework, you are not going to get much in the classroom. Okay, so the way it is structured, you do the homework, and then you come to the class where we discuss what you did at home. So things happen in that order. What makes software career attractive to you? That is a typical interview question, and it might be given to you in different forms. So why QA? Why did you change from whatever you've done before for quality assurance? What's the reason? Why do you like it? Do you like it at all? How do you see yourself in the future? So they want to understand that you are on the right track. If you are not on the right track, they don't want to deal with you. So, so we have, it allows me to make more money, 23%. Guys, it is not like you have to always tell people what you think, okay? Sometimes you just think, but not tell people. And whatever is related to the money is not what you bring to the, you know, conversation. Each and every profession is related to a certain amount of money, you know, is corresponding to a certain amount of money. But think about doctors. They are making good money. But if you say, doctor, are you in business of being a doctor because of the money? Doctor says, no. Doctor says, I like to help people. I mean, definitely there is a very good amount of money behind, because you have to invest so much of you, yeah, into that stuff. So it comes with a good compensation, but the original motivation is they want to help people. So you want to be in software testing profession which offers a certain amount of money. If it doesn't offer certain amount of money, you probably would not even consider that profession. But out of many professions which offer enough money, so you choose some, yeah? Just one at a time. And why? So you don't mention money. QA jobs are more safe than my jobs in current profession. Oh God. So I'm happy not many people believe in that. Guys, first of all, QA jobs are not extremely safe. Same as any IT job. We've seen recessions, we've seen, valleys and peaks, and really it's not that much secure. I enjoy working in IT high-tech environment. Here we have 66% of you, which is good. You enjoy the environment, and sometimes people make good money and they like what they do, but they're just not happy. They want something to be more happy, and you like to work in that environment. Very good. It employs my natural talent and passion for perfection. Here, guys, we have an issue to take care of. Whatever you say, they either trust you or they don't trust you. You might go to Google and you might search for how to answer that question. If you go to Google and you type like, why should we hire you? Go to YouTube and type, why should we hire you? I have video on how to answer the tell me about yourself question. 2 million views. Just my video, guys. I'm not the only one on YouTube with that. 2 million views. People don't know what to say. Okay? So, whatever you say should be believable. If you go to Google and you find somebody's answer, and it is not your answer, it's their answer, it doesn't matter what you say. If you are lying, if they don't believe you, if you are not sincere, nobody cares what you said. So, you can say it employs my natural talent and passion for perfection, means it has to be on your face. It has to be you. If you think, yes, it is me, then you can say it. If you think, it's a nice answer, definitely it's not me, but I like the answer. It is not your answer. You have to find another one. Okay? But it has to be yours. And you all, each of you, has a good reason to be in the career change situation. Each of you has a good reason to be in software testing business. Don't lie. Don't come with bullshit. No bullshit. So nobody believes in bullshit. Okay. Define negative testing. Oh, almost everybody, like 94% of you are coming to the right answer. So what does it say? Aimed at showing that software handles properly situations in which user acts not as user is supposed to act. So when we talk about negative testing, we talk about positive versus negative. Yeah? So positive testing is about making sure that if user does what user is supposed to do, the system provides the result. If user doesn't do what he or she is supposed to do, then we are in negative. How the system will handle the situations in which user doesn't do what user is supposed to do? What if instead of when you type zip code, okay, and you type your last name into the zip code field, is it going to tell you it accepts digits only? Is it going to allow you to type in more than 5 characters? If it doesn't allow you to type in characters, does it allow you to paste in characters? Which happens a lot. Out of 10 situations where it doesn't allow you to type characters into the zip code field, maybe in 8 it will allow you to paste. So that is negative. And one thing I want to show you, we have that portnow.com/forums. Let me make it larger for you. Okay. Forums. You will register there, and we actually give you the access to how to register. I'll show you in a second. But so far it's not about writing there, posting there. It's about reading the forum. Maybe I will, you know what, I will send it to the group, to your Skype window. Just a second. Okay, paste. So now you have both links there. And you scroll down a little bit and you will see that software QA testing interview questions. Okay. Sub forum. In that sub forum we have 21 questions with an answer. 21 interview questions with an answer. Not 60 even, just 21. And if you know how to handle 21 questions here, guys, you can pass pretty much every interview in software testing. Because to answer that, you have to know what you are talking about. So, the question was, what's negative testing? Let's take a look. Negative. Do we have negative? Where is it? Aha, here it is. So, in that forum, we give you the definition first. What is negative testing? It is aimed at showing that software handles properly situations in which user acts not as user is supposed to act. That is the definition. But then we have a couple of more things to elaborate that. You have to understand, when you go to an interview, you are in a competitive situation. Okay, competitive. Which means correct answer is not good enough. Because good enough. Because you have to be better than others. If you go for a certification exam, yeah, it's okay. You come with right correct answers and you get your certificate. But if you have 10 people competing for 4 jobs or 3 jobs, only 3 will come as winners out of that competition. So you want to be better than your competition. To be better than your competition, you have to elaborate. You on one hand you say, well, here is what it is. Okay, definition. Step 1, you provide the definition. Then you come with detail. So more explanations. Let's say explain in more detail. And then in the ideal world you come with you bring example from your project. You said, you know what, is such and such company, you can see it in my resume, that is how we did it. So in our case we are saying, okay, it is aimed at showing that software handles properly situations which are not supposed to happen but they happen. Makes no sense if positive testing fails. For example, you test login and password in the system, security, password security. You create an account, you provide valid login, you provide valid password, and it doesn't let you in. So positive testing failed. It means you do not need to do negative. You do not need to say, what if my password is valid, and my login is valid, and password is not valid? What's going to happen? Nobody cares. Okay? So negative is done. It makes no sense if positive testing fails. Negative testing is to be done after positive. If you have not enough time, and I would say honestly, you never have enough time. So what companies do, they skip negative testing first. So negative testing is not something which is nicely done, okay, to say softly. Okay? So sometimes they don't do negative testing at all. Moreover, sometimes they do not have enough time for positive testing, for complete positive testing. So out of all the positive testing, they have to decide which part to skip for a while. Yeah. So and it results in more bugs than positive testing. So first of all, for one positive test, you might have 6, 5, 10 negative tests. There are many ways of doing things wrong, and just one way of doing them right. So the volume of negative testing is huge. Number one. Number two, developers will not do negative testing. I mean, they would rather do it. They just have no resources for that. So if you do not do negative testing, nobody does negative testing. Okay, and that is one of the reasons why testers are needed, because the question might come, so why would companies need testers if developers test their code anyway? Guys, developers make sure that their code works. But you know what? They will not do negative testing. So if you don't do it, you don't do it. That is why negative testing results in more bugs. Meaning, if you spend 1 hour doing positive testing, after developers did it anyway, so it's one story. But if you spend 1 hour doing negative testing, you are likely to find more bugs, because you are probably the only one who is doing that at the time. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that part of the school forum. We also have something for you here, which is, I'm sorry. Yeah, we have online sub-forums. That is the place where online students discuss lots of different issues. So that is your place. Okay, we are not going there yet. Okay, question number 3. What is software testing? Oh God. Okay. Normally, that question comes to life in comparison with software quality assurance, because software testing by itself is a kind of obvious activity. So you make sure the software is good software without going into details. But then we have software testing and we have software quality assurance, and what is exactly the difference? And that question is confusing, because when you go to the job market, there is no difference. Whatever the position is open, they might call it software testing, they might call it software quality assurance, they might call it software QA testing, software QA tester, software development engineer in test. All the thinkable combinations, they might call it technician, they might call it senior, and it might be technician paid $35 per hour and senior paid 22. Yeah, in same geographic location. So job market creates lots of confusion here. So unless you study the subject, you would never say just being kind of intuitive tester, being just hired. Lots of people are just hired to do testing without having any intent to be in testing. So they don't know. So what do we have here? What is software testing? Process of analyzing the software to compare existing products with requirements. It involves the entire development process. Okay, let me go to that one. Let me open the link we gave you to learn. Software testing. Software testing is the process of analyzing the software in order to detect the differences between existing required conditions, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what I can say, that definition doesn't look like it was exactly copy-pasted from there. What I would normally do, I would say maybe, let's search Google for that. Let's Google. No, not really, yeah. So it looks like a product of creative thinking, which is very good. I like it. Software testing is the process of detection of differences between actual and intended software. I like it. Yeah. Intended and actual, very good. Nature of finding errors. Errors maybe. It includes verification, validation, error detection. Process of analyzing software in order to find difference between existing product and requirements. Purpose of software testing is verification, validation. Okay. So what I would say, if we go back to that one. So the purpose of testing is verification, validation, error detection. I just want to make certain things clear here. So verification is making sure that requirements are implemented. So we have requirements. Sometimes requirements are not given to testers and to developers in the form of clearly defined kind of business or technical, statements. But think about developer. Developer develops that software. When developer writes the code, there is something in the mind of the developer. So even if requirements were not given to anybody in a clearly stated form, they exist in kind of ideal form. So it is your job now to find out the requirements, maybe talking to people, maybe reading documentation, maybe by looking at somebody else's application with similar features. I mean, there are many ways of doing that, but bottom line is you have requirements and you have implementation of the requirements, how they are implemented. So that is verification, making sure that the requirements are implemented correctly. When you test software, you run into situations where you are not happy with requirements. You are saying, wait a second, that requirement is not good. It is not benefiting the user. I know in other applications where that exact same thing is done differently. It's done better than we do it. Let's change the requirement. Let's ask for additional feature. Let's ask for changes in how it does things. That process is called validation. So you make sure that requirements are good. And if you do not think they are good and could be done better, then you write a bug report. It is still a bug report, even though there is no bug. There is no error, but there is an opportunity to make it better. So validation is looking at requirements and suggesting on how to improve them. Error detection might take maybe, God knows, 90% of your time when you are doing software testing. So error detection is a time-consuming process. Okay? But still, error detection is a sub-product of verification. How do you run into errors? You verify requirements. You do not go to the job to say, okay, today I'm going to find more and more bugs. It doesn't happen like that. You go to the job, to your workplace, to verify more and more requirements. But since implementation of requirements is not perfect, and life is not perfect overall, so you run into bugs, and then you have to not just write a bug report, you have to reproduce that bug on multiple computers. You have to minimize, you have to try at least, to minimize number of steps to reproduce that bug. Maybe the way you found it took like 10 steps, but if you think about it and work it around, so you might bring it to 3 steps, which makes it much easier for developer to fix that bug. So you do the intelligence which is involved into that process. Okay. Okay. So that is what software testing is about. So software quality. Software quality is quality overall. So software quality is about 2 things. So one thing is how users, how customers perceive quality. They just like it or they don't like it. It is absolutely subjective. So some people like, God knows, some people like Apple, computers, and some people like PCs. Some people like Android phones, and some people like iPhone. And I personally, I'm using the Windows phone. Guys, people have different preferences. I am among the 3-4% of people who are using that one. So people have different preferences. It is absolutely subjective. But we are so customer satisfaction on one hand. And remember, we want to beat the crowd with our answer. We are not coming with correct answer. We are coming with the best one. So to be better than the crowd, you have to show different perspectives. You are saying software quality on one hand is about customer satisfaction, and on another hand, since we are in software quality business, we cannot just say it's customer satisfaction. We have to say, well, to us inside QA department, it is about software being up to the requirements. It doesn't mean that software which is up to the requirements is going to sell well. It doesn't mean people are going to like it. We are talking about completely different matters here. But there are 2 dimensions here. So one dimension, if people like it, and another dimension, if it is up to the requirements. And the company pays us money for software to be up to the requirements. So that is the answer which is a winning answer. You have to show it both. What is software quality assurance? Not quality, but quality assurance. Quality assurance is the subject area. It doesn't come from software, it comes from manufacturing. In manufacturing, quality assurance is the process where they monitor the entire well, system, the entire process of creating things, and each and every element, each and every stage is responsible for certain things which you will see at the end of the conveyor. And so in software quality assurance, we are looking at process of creating the software. So if it comes to software testing, we are looking at source code. You cannot test software unless you have something to be tested. In quality assurance, you look at the entire process. And prior to software coming to life, something to be tested, there are many, many things happening before software is coming. So we look at the entire process. The object of quality assurance is the process which results in a good code. In software testing, the object is the code itself. So we are having copy-pasted stuff here from process of monitoring and improving. Guys, you can use that if you can copy that from your mind. Okay. I'm sorry, paste it from your mind. If it was not in your mind, if you copy it from another document or page, and then you paste to the survey system, it is not the right way of doing things. Okay, let me ask you something here. So black box testing and white box testing. So we are going to learn black box testing. Means we test software from user perspective. Okay, we test software from user perspective, and what are the answers? White box testing is done with source code available. Black box testing is done without access to the source code. It's okay. So I do not see any problems with that. Software development lifecycle. Software development lifecycle. I'm just thinking what we can do. Guys, let's do it this way. Take software development lifecycle. Okay. Go to Google. Okay. Go to Google. And then go to images. In images, you will see lots of different, combinations of stages. So I will give you, let's say I will give you 3 minutes, okay? 3-4 minutes. Go picture by picture, come up with common stages of software development lifecycle. If you go to an interview and they tell you, what are the common stages of software development lifecycle? Now, you have to find the answer and you have to type it or paste to the Skype window, okay? I keep that picture on my screen. I will stop the recording, so it is not going, the time in between is not going to be recorded. And now, guys, you have 5 minutes, okay? So we are back, and we are looking at the smallest possible cycle here. Let me write it here. So, what are the stages we are talking about? So we have analysis. What happens at the analysis stage? We have to understand the needs to be satisfied. I'm sorry. Analysis. Needs to be satisfied. So who does analysis? In a larger company with professionals, for each and every piece of the process involved, so we would have business analysts. Business analysts will go to the field and they will study how future systems should communicate with users, and business analysts will write what's called use cases. So use case is a description of that communication, how the system communicates with user. And then, so after that, we can start with, use cases are business requirements. They are business requirements. But after you have business requirements, you can convert that into technical requirements. So to satisfy that many business requirements, what kind of technical requirements we need. So requirements. Then after requirements are in place, we are saying, okay, we might create an architecture, the structure of future products. So design or architecture, another word for that. Architecture. System architect does it, which is very responsible role. And one of the things that gentleman or lady thinks about is the system being scalable, because it might need to be changed. I mean, it happens all the time. So it has to be easy in making changes. So design. After you have the architecture, so the architecture says we have unit 1, which is responsible for printing. Unit 2 is responsible for integration with Facebook. Unit 3 is responsible for communication with, God knows, database. So different units and how those units talk to each other, what kind of information they exchange. And now we can say, okay, you program unit 1, you program unit 2, you program unit 3, and then, so we can move to development. How they call it here? Code, okay, coding. Another word for that would be development. Some people call it even implementation, and I don't like the word implementation here, but it happens. And then documenting, so test. Sometimes testing is a separate stage. We can make it one stage, test and document. And then maintenance. That is the shortest possible way of, group of stages involved. Yeah. The question was, what is software development lifecycle? Am I right? Let me look at what it was about. It was so software development lifecycle. So we are saying it is a project management concept. Project management concept which describes development process in stages. Stages. Why stages are important from management standpoint? Because now we have timeline, we have resources, we have people involved, we have everything. Yeah? So we can manage them, we can control them. If you look at larger pictures, God knows, something it's difficult to see. Let me try. Something with lots of stages. Let me see. Maybe this. Oh, that one. I like that one, guys. Look at that one. It says initiation. Someone says, why don't we do this? Okay. Then we have system concept development. We are talking about big company here. What is the concept? Then we do planning. Then it comes to requirements analysis only. So we have 3 more stages here. Then design, then development, testing, implementation. So they use the word implementation in terms of you have to go to the, let's say we do that for Wells Fargo Bank. What it means implementation? It means you have to go to the bank tellers, you have to teach them, you have to make sure they know what to do. So that is implementation. Operation and maintenance, and then disposition. Guys, think about it, disposition. Sometimes you have to plan how to get rid of something. Imagine US government moves from current social security system, I mean computerized part of that, okay, to a new social security system. Imagine how much it will cost just to get rid of existing one, you know. So it depends what kind of project you have, but what I want you to understand and why we look at that is software development life cycle is a fundamental thing to understand. Fundamental thing to understand. When you look at that page with all the questions and answers for the first session, at the very bottom of that page, we have something for you. At some point, guys, I copied that from Wikipedia. But you know, Wikipedia changes, so I don't want to update. I just want to keep it that way. And so it talks about software development life cycle. And specifically, I like that place that incomplete, ambiguous, or contradictory requirements are recognized by skilled, experienced software engineers, and you are part of that group, software engineers. So what is the maximum you can do at earlier stages of development? Let's say there is no software yet, but you are working, you are a permanent employee, you are a permanent employee, and all the early stages happen in front of you, and you can take part of that. What can you do? You can identify incomplete, ambiguous, or contradictory requirements. Guys, you have to remember that incomplete, ambiguous, and contradictory, those three keywords, you have to remember them day and night. Okay? In the middle of night, ask your spouse to wake you up and ask, what are the common problems with requirements? What might happen to requirements? They might be incomplete, ambiguous, or contradictory. If you find that at earlier stages, it means those requirements are not going to be designed. Those requirements are not going to be developed. It means you are not going to run into problems, and developers will not have to re-code what they coded already. Over 80% of code rewritten. Over 80%, think about it. 80% of code rewritten happens because of changes made to requirements. Think about it. So if you can improve requirements before it comes to implementation, means coding, that is the maximum you can do. Okay, so we want you to read that. We want you to read about the stages. And that is why those two links are included into that section of the page. What is use case? So use case is a format for specifying systems requirements. And again, I like the fact you are coming with good stuff here, but I don't like it copy-pasted. Okay, one more time. Each use case represents completed business operation performed by business analyst. It is not performed by business analyst. Business analyst will create test use case. Business operation will be performed by in our case, bank teller, if we do it for a bank, or let's say insurance agent, if we do it for insurance, agency. So the user, not business analyst. Business analyst writes use case, uses that format for coming with system requirements, business requirements. That is use case. Completed business operation performed by user. Good. It is performed by user. But use case is not exactly a completed business operation. Use case describes communication between user and the system in achieving that transaction, that business operation, in completing that business operation. So use case is a format in which it is being described. Okay, it is a business requirement. It is a format for business requirement, yes. Not business requirement, it's a format, yes. A set of possible sequences of interactions between systems and users, yes. Yes, keep going. What is the difference between software testing and software quality assurance? We mentioned that. The difference is in the object. So, object for QA is the process of creating software. Object for testing is the source code itself. It comes with certain consequences. For example, since quality assurance looks at the entire process, it is preventive in nature. When we are doing quality assurance, we are bringing down the number of problems in the future. So we prevent problems. When we are doing software testing, we are reactive. We are reacting on the problems which happen. We find them. They are already in there. So proactive or reactive. But it is not the definition. You cannot say software quality assurance is proactive and software testing is reactive. Not really. It's a property. But what is software testing? What is software quality assurance? What is the difference? The object. Quality assurance looks at the process of creating software, and testing looks at the source code. So trying to make sure it's a good code. What is regression testing? You know what? Testing that seeks to uncover new software bugs in existing software. I like it. I like it. It is coming from our resources. I like it. I just want you to look at the school forum. I want you to make it your #1 resource when it comes to questions and answers. Where is regression testing? Oh yeah, here is regression testing. And we have the definition. It says partial retesting of modified program. It is not partial by the idea of regression testing. It is partial because we have no time. So retesting of modified program to make sure that no new errors were introduced while making changes to the code. So we didn't break anything down while changing the code. Why did we change the code? For whatever reason. We don't care. For whatever reason it was changed, so it might be broken. And so we are saying, now we are elaborating on that. We are saying regression testing should be done for each new release or build. Both build and release means version. Okay? Something created out of code submitted by all the developers. So developers submit their code, and then new version is created. So sometimes it's called build, sometimes it's called release. We will talk about it later. We do not have enough time to retest software completely. We would love to retest it completely, but we have no time, so we have to decide to which areas to retest. So risk analysis is involved when we decide what to retest. Regression testing is second to release acceptance test. So release acceptance test decides if a release is good enough to be tested. It might not be good enough. It might be transitional, nobody ever tested. So not each and every release goes to testers. So release acceptance is #1, frequently executed test, because it happens, if we have 100 releases, we will have 100 release acceptance tests. But when it comes to regression, maybe 70 releases will be sent to testers. So then we have 70 regression tests. So regression test is second to release acceptance. Most frequently executed test. What does it mean? It means regression test is a very good candidate for automation. The more frequent the test is, the more we save, the more the return we have on the investment of our time and money we put into the automation. Something you should never say, guys. Look at that. Avoid, which is very important. And when we say avoid, we say that because we know what you do. We know what you are telling. So first you are saying the regression testing is done after fixing a bug. No. Regression testing is done after changing the code. For whatever reason. Same story. Regression testing is done after new feature was added. No. It narrows down the scope of regression testing because it's not about feature or bug. It's about code changed. Overall. Making sure the bug is... Regression testing is done to make sure the bug was fixed. No. If you want to make sure the bug is fixed, you are doing bug fix verification. It's a different type of test. Some people manage to say that regression testing is manual or automated. It could be manual or automated. Regression is the purpose. If the purpose is to make sure it's not broken, then it doesn't matter if you run it manually or you have a special tool which does it automatically, but the purpose is still making sure that nothing got broken. It is not about test being black or white box. You can do regression in white box, you can do regression in black box. It's not about black or white. So those four things are the summary of most frequently made mistakes, most common mistakes people make. You, specifically, you make, because we work with you. So that is how you work on interview questions, guys. Today we covered, in that quiz we covered 10, and they are all interview questions. All 10 are common interview questions. So let me go back to you here. Requirements, good. Now guys, any questions so far? I have the capacity technical capacity of enabling your microphone. So if you want to talk to the group, I can do it. Just let me know. If you have any question, ask it now, because we are just about to finish that session, and I will explain what the homework is for the session number 2. Okay, some people are typing. Okay, you keep typing and I will explain how you do the homework for session number 2. You go to that page, online home page. You go to the session 2 here, and you start with homework. You watch that video, and that video is talking about how to test graphic user interface, means the way the application looks like. You might not know how it works yet, but you might report bugs already because of how it looks like. So that is the purpose of that session. So you watch that video, the webinar. Here is the PowerPoint we use there. Then we have that project, Resume Builder. You have to have PC to run it. It will not run on Mac. But you watch that video with where we discuss lots of graphic user interface problems. Okay, that is a small motivational piece, what to do with today. Usability.gov is a website with standards for web applications, graphic user interface usability standards for web applications. So familiarize yourself, spend some time there. Then there is a form to be tested. That is a web form. So apply dialog box GUI checklist. The checklist comes in the presentation. So you apply the checklist to that form, so find the bugs. Repeat interview questions and answers. Again, same thing you just did in previous session, same 10 questions. Do similar quiz, SQL Basics number 2, dealing with pretty much same amount of information. Install Resume Builder, that is where you install it from. Create an account at the QA Forums. QA Forums is the largest QA, how to say, social network, I would call it, with over 200,000 members. Maybe 85% of them live outside of US, maybe in India, but still all the people who write books are answering questions there. Whatever questions might come to you within the next 5 years are already asked and answered over there. Make sure you have registration before you need to go there, because it requires registration for certain things. Then UTest. UTest is the website service actually where you can go and get projects. You register and they give you projects and they pay you per bug found. They might start with $5 per bug, $10, $15, $20. And at the time we finish that course, I know people who would be making like 50, 60 projects. Projects are short. It could be a couple of hours, it could be a couple of days. I know people who are making 2,000 a year, a month, I'm sorry, 2,000 a month, working 5-6 hours a day on that website. So create an account there. That is register at portnow.com forums. When you start registration process, it will ask you, why are you here? Why do you want to register? Some people try to write something. Guys, unless you come with that string, exact string, it will not allow you to register. The whole thing is about people who are not our students, okay, not registering. We don't want them to register and interfere with us. And then you have that GUI test assignment, which is a very cool thing. Let me sell it to you, okay? That page was used by a company called Tolia. Tolia now is part of Oracle. Oracle purchased them a couple of years ago. They used to take our interns. Actually, when they purchased Tolia, they converted 5 of our interns into permanent employees of Oracle, at that moment. So, when you come to an interview, the Tolia QA manager will give you that page. And manager will say, don't touch anything, okay? Don't click on anything, just look at that, just look. Don't say when I click here it doesn't do anything. It shouldn't. Just look. And if you look at that, you will see, you will get, I know more than 30 problems here. More than 30 on that page. So guys, and I can tell you each and every class which comes finds something which nobody found before. So it's full of bugs. And that is how you, how to say, how you get your first exposure to the real world of testing. Definitely they have lots of bugs intentionally created here, but those bugs are real life bugs. If you can find 10 on that page, guys, you are cool. If you can find 20, you are champions. And when you come next time, I will show you the place where we have those bugs given to you, so you might compare with other people. But part of that is that you go to the school forum. You go to the school forum. You go to the online. You register. You go to that online section, and then you write what you find in. You might start new group, or you might use existing one. Let's say that is November 11th is the previous class. So that is where they discuss the bugs they find. So you might add to that, or you might start your own one. It's up to you. But whatever you find, please write it in the language you might use. So we are not in business of writing nice bug reports yet. Just use your human language and document your findings. So that is what your homework is about. And after you do all that, you go to the, let's say, previous class, and previous class is here. So November 13th, that is the recording of our discussion with the previous class of that material you are supposed to learn, okay? And that is the discussion we had with the class before, July of 2014, March of 2014, November of 2013. So I keep them here, so you can, I mean, if you want to watch more than one, you can do that, but they are pretty much the same, very close. So first you do the homework, then you watch it right here. Okay, let's say this one. And then we meet on Thursday to discuss it again. So, and then you do another quiz. So let me see if we have questions. QA forum is down. If it is down, don't do anything. Guys, what can I do? What do they mean in the job description by end-to-end testing? Listen, if you go to Google, you will find out what's end-to-end testing. End-to-end testing is just one out of 40, 50 types of testing. If you can visualize use case, you remember use case is communication between user and the system in achieving certain task. So if you start executing that use case on QA side, that is end-to-end testing. End-to-end testing is a system level test. It's not about feature. It's about user doing completed business operation, transaction. So that is called end-to-end. It is a part of system testing. There is nothing, I mean zero to be complicated or challenging. Or, I mean, end-to-end testing is the simplest thing you can imagine in your life. How can we get access to list of all interview questions? When you become students, when I give you, after session number 3, I will give you access to the place where we have answers to all the questions. Sure. I just don't want to go beyond certain line here. How to answer the question about why to have testers anyway in the best way. We have certain types of testing which otherwise nobody does. So we have negative testing and we have regression testing. Developers cannot do regression testing. Regression testing is huge and it is done for each and every build. That is number 2. So negative regression. And then third thing is when developers test the units they develop. Testers test the whole product. So we have much broader picture of the application which we test. So the standpoint, the scope, so it's all different. That is why companies have testers. And I can tell you, in today's world, they have maybe 5-10 times more testers, percentage-wise, compared to, let's say, 15 years ago or even 10 years ago. Software becomes more and more complex, so it requires more and more testing. It has more and more permutations of different things. Number one. Number two, with introduction of web applications and now mobile applications, we are much more on agile side rather than waterfall side. Waterfall means we develop and test stage by stage, sequentially, and agile means we do that in parallel. So if you go to YouTube, let me go to YouTube for you. If you go to YouTube and type here, agile testing. The first thing you see here is our instructor. So it says Portnoy School. Look at that. It's Portnoy School. So our instructor Yana Murza, she talks about how to test in agile environment. That is must. That is the best thing in the industry you have. It's featured everywhere in the industry, in the blogs and everywhere. So she talks about how to test in agile environment. And now we don't have enough time. We are doing things in parallel. We used to do them sequentially. Now we have to do them in parallel. So we need more testers because we don't have enough that much time now. We have to do same amount of testing in less time. So is it possible to get internship in my state after graduating online? No way. I mean, you might get it on your own. I mean, you might send resumes, you might post your resumes, and no, we are not capable of doing internships outside of local area because we have 5,000-6,000 graduates here who are managers, and some of them are managers. They give us internships. So we have quite a few graduates in Florida from online class, and sometimes from on-campus class. But what I can say, they are not in the position of offering internships yet. And my thinking is, when you think about an internship in Florida, you look at yourself from the position of weakness. You say, oh, I'm not going to learn much. Who is going to hire me? What if I go to internship? And I can tell you, so far, our Florida graduates are so successful. Where are you in Florida, by the way? In which? So Miami? We have quite a few people in Miami, okay? Fort Lauderdale, okay? Probably you know someone who graduated from that school and knows them. Okay, so look at them. Look how successful they are. They got jobs after 1-2 weeks on the job market. And there was one who got a job in a week and another one who got two job offers in 2 weeks. Orlando is the place where we have 5-6 people, maybe graduates, and DC is one of the best places. So guys, we will talk about Denver. Denver is great. We have lots of graduates there. We do not have lots of online people there, but we used to have students who would come from Denver, study and go back. We have a lady, she's not in Denver, there is another city nearby, so she is there. New York is one of the best markets. I would say Chicago is the best. Chicago and New Jersey and New York are the best markets. One of them already grew up, changed 6 jobs in 1 year. Guys, I'm supportive to that. If you feel you have to move. Okay, that is my position. Tampa, Florida. I don't know yet. So we didn't have people from Tampa. We did have people who moved from Orlando closer to Tampa. I'm not sure the names, but again, Chicago is the best. One of the best. You cannot get job market better than Chicago. I don't know any market which is better than Chicago. Boston is great. Detroit, I have no experience with Detroit. I don't remember anything. Boston, Milwaukee, I'm not sure. North Carolina is brilliant. Washington, D.C. is perfect. Austin is okay. Michigan. I'm not sure about Grand Rapids. Maybe there is a bigger city nearby. I don't know. Tampa, a lot of jobs. Okay. LA is brilliant. Is it common being a part-time tester? Guys, it is not. It happens, but it is not. Number one. Number two, if you want to be picky, okay, you have to represent certain marketability. You should have experience. I have questions from people who live outside of US. If I undergo the training, would it enable me to get a job remotely in US? And I'm saying, look, not after our training. If you have experience, the more experience you have, the easier it becomes to get a remote job. But you know, not just, it's not common for beginners. Dallas is fine. Do you have any name of a company I can try to apply in Denver? Wow, I don't. I can go and find out like 25 companies to apply to in Denver within 5 minutes if I need to. But so far I don't. I mean I don't care. If I care, I will find all the companies within minutes. Why do we start with interview questions in the first place? We do not start with interview questions. We start with the subject. But the way we learn the subject is we want to show you the value of what we learn when it comes to an interview. I don't want to teach you anything unless you can use it at the time of interview and at the time of employment. So to be good at what you are doing. There are millions of things we can teach, but if you cannot use it to get a job, why in the world I would teach it? So why do we start with interview? Aren't we supposed to learn the subject first and then prepare for interview at the very last stage? We do not have 5 years, you know, like I spent in my younger age when I did go to University of Telecommunications in Moscow. Okay, for 5 years we learned the crap, and then I started working. I realized whatever was useful in that learning, I could do it in 1 semester. We do not have 10 semesters. We have just a couple of months, and you are here to get a job. If you don't want to get a job, go to City College. City College is the perfect place for people who are not, you know, in a rush to get a job. There is always a class you didn't take yet. Go to City College. You can spend 5 years taking classes at City College, and there is always a class you didn't take yet. We are opposite to that. We are not here for classes. I don't care about classes. I care about you getting a job. I teach you what it takes to get a job, number one, and to keep that job, number two. Then it is your responsibility to become someone who makes the difference in that profession. But I do not want you to go to, again, City College or university and spend 3-4 years delivering pizza and learning in the college. I want you to get a job in 3-4 months, which pays, let's say, $30 per hour. And so now you can start learning fundamental things, maybe programming languages, maybe test automation tools. I mean, lots of good things which help you to move from $30 to $40 to $50 per hour while you are making money and while the the clock is ticking, you know, on your behalf. You are working, you are in the field. That is my philosophy. Bay Area, well, Bay Area has the best, the largest demand, and Bay Area has the largest supply. Our school alone releases 500 graduates in Bay Area a year. Cleveland is fine. Is automation testing tools are covered? They're going to be EPs, yes. You will learn Selenium with RubyMine, yes. We have like 6 sessions on that, yes. Marina, who does mobile testing, and she does also a project, and she will teach you the mobile. What is expected pay rate in 2 years? I know people in, if we talk about local job market in Silicon Valley, I know lots of people who in 2 years will make close or sometimes in excess of 100,000 K permanent. So I don't want to talk about extreme cases where people make cross that 100K plank after 1 year. It happens as well. So Indianapolis is great. Each and every big city, guys, is a good place. Let me show, since you are asking all those questions, let me show you how you research that, okay? Instead of saying that place is good and that place is good, let me go there. let's go to DICE. Okay. So now you will research the market. I'll show you the tool. You go to the job market. You say advanced search. Give me any zip code in the area where you live. Just a second. I go back. Okay. Oh, wait, I cannot copy. Okay. So you are so fast. So I'm using that 27540 randomly selected. Guys, it doesn't matter. Okay. Just look what I'm doing, and you can change it and modify it. So the keywords, at least one of the words, I go to job title. Look, within job title, you do not want all the positions where you find the word QA. You want only the positions where you find the word QA in the title of that position. You are saying QA or SQA, SQA or test, tester, quality. That is what you do. And then here is the location, and 30 days. I don't want 30 days. Let's do 1 week. Okay, just 1 week of jobs. Let's go there. Where is the button here? Oh, find the jobs. Okay. Let's see what we are getting. Okay, it looks, where is that?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. It looks like we have 36 jobs. It is not true, maybe. But maybe it is true. Let's take a look. QA, test, quality assurance. Yeah, they are all related. Very good. And that is, how many days on the market? 3? Yeah, 3 days. Within 3 days, you are getting 36 jobs. Some of them you might not want. For example, you might say not. You might not want positions which are senior. Look at that. Now, instead of 36 jobs, we are getting how many? Still 36 jobs. No? Senior, not senior. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we do have senior here, huh? Interesting. So it didn't eliminate that. Maybe I have to make it uppercase. I don't know. DICE just changed a few days ago, and they are going through changes. And what can I tell you guys? SR dot. Let's do SR dot, not SR dot. Hop. Nuh-uh, doesn't work. So that not thing doesn't work. It's okay. It's okay. So 36 jobs within a couple of days. If we change that to, distance, okay, let's see. 30 miles, okay. Location, okay, those are the cities. Companies. Here are the companies, unless it is an agency or recruiting. So you have the companies. How to find the companies in, Denver area. Here are the companies. Okay. Now let me, guys, say, okay, here is the link. Copy. Okay. I will send that link to you to the Skype group, and you will see that at the end of that link we have the zip code. Can you see it? 27540 blah blah blah. Let me take another one. Okay, Jalal Ahmed comes with that one. Let's take a look. So I will change it right here. Okay. Oh. Okay. Boom. Let's go. Hey. So we are now in Michigan. Is it Michigan? Troy, Michigan. Okay, we have 41 jobs. Business intelligence tester. Okay, senior, quality, lead, analyst, senior. So, and as far as I remember, we were looking at 3 days. Yeah. Oh, 1 week, I'm sorry, 1 week of the job market. 1 week. Okay. 46 jobs. So that is, I hope you know how to do it now. 6, that one is Chicago. Nikolai is from Chicago, let's see. And then this is what I do. I say, okay, Chicago. Okay. So Chicago, 81 position, 81 position, good. But if you do, let's say, I'm sorry, if you do 40 miles here, not 30, but 40, okay? So see what's going to happen. So now it's 105. So which is more than, what was it? So I think 40 miles is not a big deal. But if it is a first job, 40 miles is not a problem. So if it is the third job, maybe 10 miles would be nicer. Okay, so let's see what you are saying, guys. Could you send us the link? I didn't? Oh, I didn't send you the link. I'm sorry, guys. I was sure I did send you the link. So you, it's funny. Just replace the last one with your own zip code and it will do the job. So guys, I think we are done for today. And I do not see more questions, different questions. Will this class cover testing in an agile environment? It will. And even now, if you go to YouTube and type agile testing, you will get our lecture on agile testing. But the project which you're gonna do is being developed in agile environment. So you will be right there, right on target. Oh, absolutely, I mean, no doubt about it. In today's world, we have no option, okay? Okay, guys, I think we are done for today. Let me create a webinar recording of the webinar. It will be posted right here. So along the session 1 here, boom, 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 introduction. So it will be right here to the right of November 11th. The link is going to be right here. Okay, thank you very much, and let's talk. I will see you. I will talk to you Thursday next week, same time, so 6 p.m. California time. Thank you.